Yeah, I'm not here to fix my piano playing. That's beyond hope. But I am here to try to fix this. Or at least fix one of the things wrong with it, because there are other things I need to come back to another day. One of the things wrong with it, which you might not have been able to tell from my terrible playing, because this sounds fine, it's these that don't. See, those are fine, it is in tune with itself. You might be thinking there is nothing obviously wrong with this. Allow me to demonstrate, with the help of a beaten up but handily in tune guitar, what is wrong with this. If I remember where notes are. B, D, yes, that's the one. That's the one I want. You might hear a discrepancy. Now the guitar is, like I said, pretty much in tune, meaning this isn't. This isn't in tune with other instruments, it's in tune with itself, but nothing else. And you might be thinking, if you know anything about these, you might be thinking, well, you just need to twiddle the twiddly in the hole. There's a hole with a twiddly in it, you twiddle the twiddly in the hole, and beautiful noise emanates from your twiddliness in the hole. It doesn't work that way, because this has a hole with no twiddly. It has an untwiddleable hole. The untwiddleable hole means I cannot twiddle it to get the sounds I'm looking for from it. Meaning I'm going to have to take it all apart, and I'm guessing I have to put a new twiddly in there. Well, that was an experience. There were countless screws, as in I didn't bother to count them, holding the bottom on. The bottom was so incredibly well screwed it took a while and ended up causing a bit of an ache. But I got there in the end. Here is the board. Here, roughly, is the hole for the twiddly. And here is no twiddly. But what I've noticed is what I thought was just a weird nut and bolt, I don't know if I can get this, what I thought was just a weird fastener of some sort sticking off the back is in fact, if I unscrew this now, because this perplexed me, and when I took the countless or uncounted screws out, I noticed a lot of them don't seem like the ones that should have been in there, and I started thinking, somebody's been here before, and they have, and they've half put the wrong twiddly in. Not entirely sure what they were thinking there. They're probably thinking, this twiddly's broken, I will put something else in. And I'm kind of wishing they hadn't, because it's missing the end, but also I'm sure you need 3 wires. This has 2, which also makes me wonder where the 3rd wire is. Is there a 3rd wire in here? I found the 3rd wire. It fell out. Well done. So somebody has attempted this before and failed. Right, it's off. So now I can get a bit of a look at twiddly hole. No twiddly. Looking underneath, I have 1 wire of the replacement tuning twiddly. 1 wire. 1 wire attached. Out of 3. 1 out of 3. Just to be clear, there's 1, there should be 3. Right, so this is an example of one of the twiddlies I got, because the great thing with this is I managed to find, well, not this, the whole thing, most of it in the other room. The great thing is I managed to find a service manual with diagram that allegedly tells me the value of this is, I call it a twiddly. Other people may call it a rheostat, or I believe a potentiometer. And I think it uses a linear, not an exponential. And these to me are just words. But yeah, it's one of those. And I looked at the diagram. I couldn't find, it uses a 10k, I presume that's kilo ohm. It uses a 10k one, which I couldn't find one that seemed to say it was specifically, absolutely the correct one for this board. So in the end, the cheapest way to get them was actually to buy a 5-pack of these mini ones that I figured this probably would take the miniature one, because the larger one, which it turns out, which is what somebody's attached to the back of it, weirdly and badly previously, well, they've got their own kind of connectors to mount to a PCB, to surface, well, not surface mount, they are through hole, but to go on a board. They are not right. And these look to be right. So I got these, which come like that, and I made it a bit more like that, but I may have to modify it some more. What I have noticed though, I've just very quickly noticed some corrosion there, which I will worry about later. First thing I'm going to do is worry about why I still haven't got something to clean the soldering line tip with properly. Do not do this with kitchen towel. That almost just burned me. And now it's burning the kitchen towel. Don't do what I just did. Again, don't ever do what I do. My videos are me being an idiot. They are not instructional. They are not probably safe. I am an idiot. You don't have to be. This seems to have leggage. It's as though they cut... Go away. It's as though whoever did this just cut the old one off, which is a bit weird. Yeah, the feet of the old one are still there. Oh, bravo, Bodger and Scarpet. Who the hell did this, and why? And why haven't they been banned from doing anything ever again? I'm not going to be able to get the new twiddly in with that bracket in the way. I need some form of grabber of hot things. This was supposed to be quick. The things I do that are supposed to be quick never ever are. And the things that are supposed to take time never ever do. Yeah, that's moving. Ish. Go on. Well, what's the point? Don't go on so much as piss off. And that is out. Soldered 1.5 wires and work on the assumption, well, yeah, that'll be fine. If I solder one wire and properly, and then one wire half properly, and then one wire just leave it in the bottom of the thing, that'll work, won't it? This came from a house clearance seller, I think, and I suspect the reason this was left, I think it said something like, yeah, I found this in a loft of a house I was clearing out. Yeah, I'm guessing it was left in the loft by the person who went, oh well, I couldn't fix it, I'd better just put it in the loft. Yeah, you could have just... the idea they had would probably have worked. The idea of using the same value potentiometer and just but a easier to find and move out the way one probably was a very good idea. It was just rather let down by its implementation. I have no little pokey. Having done that, the one where I have straightened the pins, well, hopefully, it won't, will it? It won't go in there because that stupid metal thing. Oh, I'm going to have to take it off, aren't I? Where am I? I'm going to have to... Yeah, I can get it upside down. That's useful. Okay, I'm going to have to take this bracket off, possibly. Will this bracket come off? Is this the right size screwdriver? Me and soldering never go well. I've got that weird burning circuit board smell as well, which is starting to concern me. I need these to be clear so that I can put this in, which maybe would benefit from having slightly thinner legs, or maybe wouldn't. Yay, that! I wonder if that's going to line up. I can check that, can't I? Because that goes in... That goes in there perfectly now. So the only question is, does it also fit perfectly with this? And it's just not the only question, because the question is also, which way round does this go? I've forgotten. I imagine if that sits sitting a little high though, which means it will sit a little high in the hole in the back. Yeah, I can probably bring that forward. I'm going to solder this in, because worst case, these speaker cables not unplugging is fiddling me. Worst case, I just have to unplug and stick a different one in. Yeah, okay. And then get some new solder on all of them. Obviously, this isn't going to have the anchors that the original one did to support it, but how often are you going to really be wrestling with this? It's nice to twiddle around in a little hole, but how often do you really feel the need to do it in the middle of tickling the keys? My last bit of plan is to try to just push that forward and over at the same time. in order to bring it down, because it's too far up at the moment. Far too far. So I'm hoping I can basically crease the pins like that. Like that noise that it's just made. Yeah, that is not ideal, but it is on. Given I shouldn't really be attacking this too much, I think that'll do. I got all excited about putting it back in, gave it a quick test, twiddled through the hole, twiddled the twiddly inside the hole. Anyway, no difference. Nothing changed. And I thought, well, I wanted to do that before I put it back together and before I moved the camera through to the other room and finished this video. And I had a look and thought, what the hell? And then I got the multimeter, the meter of mults. Ow, and there's a sharp edge that I've just probably sliced myself on there. Well, the good news is if it has a blood sacrifice, it might be happy. But this pin here should be completely no resistance to over here, because it's all on the same track. Don't know if you can see on the multimeter, it has resistance. Oh, look a bit more closely, and the track here that goes to that pin is either broken or cut for reasons. So I'm wondering if that's the problem, meaning I'm wondering if I can just bridge that with a little bit of solder. Soldering on says it's hot, soldering on feels like it's hot. Need a sharp scrapey thing. I saw a sharp scrapey thing earlier. Where's the sharp scrapey? I'm going to scrapey more of this track here so I can actually get to copper. And to copper that is good and clean and shiny and not lifting off the board. I'm hoping that I can then get a nice blunk of solder on there. The solder spool keeps unravelling at me. A nice blunk of solder, which is taking it. Taken well enough. With that, and another bit of paper clip, because my cutty clippy things are a bit shit. I ripped part of the board up, and that was what made everything very upsetting. This time, I think I've avoided doing that. I could and should have used a much thinner wire, I just didn't have one. What can happen if I plug this in and I've got it wrong? Bad expensive things. Well, it's doing something. I forgot to show you what it looked like before all of this, didn't I? So time to just use a little bit of imagination, a little bit of mind trickery, a little bit of just close your eyes. Well, don't close your eyes, actually keep them open and just look at that. You see how that's there? Previously, it wasn't. And so, there it is, all back together. And I believe in tune. Close enough for my ears anyway, meaning that this can now play well with others, which it previously didn't. I don't know, it was maybe getting a bit too into the 2020 thing and going, no, I want to do everything my own way, I don't need anybody else. Well, you kinda do, and now you can work in harmony and make beautiful music together with probably not my guitar, or at least not when I'm playing it. To quickly demonstrate the difference, apart from obviously with the guitar, if I hold a note, let's hold a constant, let's hold that. That is the difference that makes, which also means that if you've got something like this out of tune and it's got already a twiddly fitted, just twiddly your twiddly. Everything will be better. So to summarise, basically, I got a broken one of these that wasn't as broken as I expected it to be. Many bits of it are still broken for me to come back to another day, but it now sounds like it's supposed to, other than when I'm playing it. And that, to me, is a bit of a win. Goes to prove that actually, you can fish a piano.